Professional wrestling is the one true sport. Other sports have their share of intense, dramatic moments, but nothing can compare with professional wrestling. Welcome to Wrestling History X, where three friends come together to talk about the stories behind the matches. I'm Matt.
Mikey Choshu.
And I am Shinya Hashimoto.
Welcome to episode 214, the G1 Climax Final, 1996.
It comes with a trophy.
That'd do.
It does come with a trophy.
It comes with a trophy.
Comes with probably 2 or 3 trophies.
Yeah.
I think we only see one. But
Probably some flowers.
yeah. No belt. No belt on this one, though.
Nah.
You get a title shot, though, usually.
I don't know if they started that yet or if that was always the deal.
I don't think you get it at the January 4th show like you do now. Actually, I think they literally do it like they used to do it like the Best of the Super Juniors, where it literally was like the next big show.
Yeah. Makes sense.
They got a title shot.
Yeah. I feel like you could still do that today because sometimes the length of time
waiting the 6 months or whatever.
between G1 and then it's like, oh, well, that guy cooled off completely since then. Looking at you, Jay White.
Yeah.
I know, and I like Jay White a lot, so it hurts even more when it didn't seem like he really tried to get the ankle over.
Something about those New Japan guys going to AEW. They just kind of aren't what they once were.
Bullet Club Gold, guys. Bullet Club Gold.
Bullet Club needs to die.
Bullet
Doesn't matter anymore.
Black and gold. Or is it black and yellow? I don't remember. What color is
that?
NXT?
That would be NXT. That would be
I'm
Bullet
Black
Club
and
and NXT.
Yeah, that's the undisputed era.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
They're much better. This was the 6th G1 Climax produced by New Japan Pro Wrestling. It was held from August 2nd to August 6th, 1996, from the Rigoku Guguki-Con in Tokyo, Japan, with an attendance of around 11,000 each night.
I mean, come on, that's wonderful.
And if you listened to us last week, it was running at the same time as the J Crown tournament.
Yes.
It was kind of the main event was the G1.
Yeah, and this was in the J Crown was like, the lower singles matches. Yep. Or maybe the co-main event. I don't know the cards. That's a good ticket,
It was usually
man.
the J Crown was in the first 3 or 4 matches of the show, and then the G1 matches were like the last 3 or 4 matches.
Yeah,
of the
a
show.
couple tags in the middle probably.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's a great show. We watched those matches and they were great, and we watched these heavyweight G1 matches. Listen and find out if we thought it was great. But I'd say that's a solid purchase ticket if you were
absolutely.
If you got to see all of that.
Yeah. Yeah, any one of these nights probably would have been worth your money.
But we are back in Japan.
Yeah, we are.
So Shane, did you do what you do?
Yes, I did. I did what I do. We are back in Japan, and as has been the case these last, let's see here, we're on 214, so 150-ish episodes. I've been seeking out foods and beverages and whatnot from around the globe. Japan has always been a tricky one, just because here in Oklahoma City, it's hard to find anything other than sushi or ramen. Not that I have anything against sushi or ramen, but it's like a cheesesteak where you can only have so many, and then you need to have something different to represent that spot. Thankfully, I was looking up desserts, Japanese desserts to be specific, in Oklahoma City, and lo and behold, this gorgeous beauty just popped up on the top of the list. A little place here called Ling's Cakery, not bakery, cakery. On the first picture that I saw was a picture of a Japanese cheesecake, and I was instantly drawn in, and then I checked out their menu and saw the list of other house-made sweets that they have, cakes and tarts and rolls and all kinds of goodies there. When I walked into the shop today for the first time, they had these little cupcakes that I almost got because they looked similar to this, but this was the focus of my focal point. But yeah, I got a Japanese cheesecake. It is incredibly good. It's not the super rich, dense cake that we're used to with a lot of cheesecakes that you'll get at most places. This one is a whole lot lighter.
Almost feels more like an angel food cake.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very cakey in consistency. It crumbles. It's not so mushy. It actually has texture to it. It's not as sweet as your typical cheesecake. As the description on it said, it has more cheese and less sugar in it. So you get that extra height to it without all the extra sweetness to it. This one came with just a little of fresh whipped cream and a strawberry on top. They had one in the display that had similar toppings with it, but then it also had some blueberries and blackberries on it. They've got whole cakes available or by the slice. One of these times I'm going to have to grab a couple of their different matcha cakes that they have in there, because it's like a matcha crepe combination.
Yeah. I was looking at the menu. They had like mango crepe cakes
Yep.
and like just every fruit flavor you could think of. Looked pretty great.
Yep.
Sounds
Chocolates
awesome.
and coffees and all kinds of goodies.
Also, I mean, this is, I'm going to timestamp this a little bit, but Mother's Day is coming up in a couple of weeks. And my mom likes cheesecake. I might have to grab a whole one.
Yeah. They are
She's definitely never had a Japanese
$28 I saw for one that feeds 4 to 6, and then $50 for one that feeds 8 to 10. By the slice, it was like $5.95, I think. So reasonable price for something super tasty. I also they had these little egg tarts on the counter. They're very mild in flavor. Again, not very sweet. We were talking about how they would taste good with like a berry or some kind of drizzle or something over the top of it. Maybe even just a sprinkle of salt.
Compote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just something because
Great texture.
Yeah, it's got a good creamy texture to it.
Flakiness is great.
Yeah, and the egg's very fluffy.
Yes, buttery and whatnot, but it's missing that extra little kiss of sweetness or
either salty or
tartness.
sweet, one or the other.
Yeah,
But
I think it may just be because
we're used to
we're
American
used
treats.
to American treats.
we're just all.
I say as I
all-
sit here sipping my sugar-filled coffee.
All of us need blood pressure medicine at the age of 30. But the cake was great. Anytime you eat cheesecake, even if it's like the small, crummy, like sample ones, afterwards you just like feel it sink to the bottom of your stomach. I ate that, and this is a large slice of cheesecake. I ate that whole thing and can barely tell that I ate anything at all, which is a good thing.
Yes,
Because that's what you want out of a dessert. That's why I never get dessert at restaurants, because it's like, well, I'm sure you have great desserts, but I just ate a whole American-sized meal.
Yep, you'll hear it described as light cheesecake, cotton candy cheesecake. Now, it's definitely taller in its shape than your typical cheesecake that tends to sink. This one has a lot of air and fluff to it, which makes it that much better. So, if you're ever in Oklahoma City, Ling's Cakery, 27th and Classen, highly recommend. It's not going to make any noise, but I'm going to take a bite of it anyway because that's what I do. So, here you go.
Oh, nice spongy sound.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the sound we'll get digging into it with the fork.
Oh, that's nice.
Beautiful.
So good. Well, something that would happen right around the same time as the G1 Climax, Los Del Rios would start a 14-week run atop the Billboard charts with Hey Macarena.
I mean, what a
Can't
song.
believe I just did that.
What a song. Ugh. What a song. Inescapable. When was the last time we got a song that was like a dance craze?
Mambo number 5.
But that doesn't have its own
What's
dance.
the Korean one?
Gangnam Style.
Gangnam Style.
Yeah, Gangnam Style.
I did
Gangnam.
I did
Gangnam.
I did one of the videos.
What?
Me and friends did
You rode
like
the pony?
we did one of the like videos that people were like doing.
Well, you're pretty light on your
Back
feet.
then.
I can see you pulling that off very well.
Oh, that song.
I mean, I've seen you do the, what is it? Not Right Said Fred. Leave your friends behind. Your friends don't dance.
Oh.
I've seen you do that Irish gig,
the
and it was impressive.
the cowboy dance from
yeah,
the video.
yeah. So I figure if you do that so well, you could probably pull off a Gangnam Style. My feet are made of lead.
Keeping them on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the way it is. I dance with my hands like most.
Well,
white
then,
men.
Hey Macarena was like the perfect song for
It's
you.
the only one I think I can do. Yeah, and everybody still remembers it.
Yeah, it's like the Three Amigos salute almost, just put to music.
Hey, literally.
Well, it's always funny in my head. Like we all know, Milli Vanilli, didn't actually sing their music. They were just cute boys, and supposedly they could sing okay, but not
They just
good
couldn't
enough.
speak English to sing in English.
And the people that like sang their songs, and you see them, it's like, oh, I understand why these people with these wonderful voices, because there's like 3 people, and they obviously don't look like pop stars. But in my head, I've seen photos of them, but I'm like, oh, that they look like the Los Del Rios guys, because those guys definitely aren't pop stars either. They just had a dance craze.
And see,
But they have this a similar look. It's like, oh, just kind of average looking like Hispanic guys.
yeah, see, I had the image constantly since this song first debuted, just because I grew up during the Los Lobos La Bamba craze when that movie came out. So every time I see the name Los Del Rio, that's who I picture is Los Lobos.
I thought
it's just a bunch of guys that look like mobsters wearing sunglasses. Only this time they're dancing around doing the Macarena.
As soon as I saw the Los Del Los, I was like, oh, and I was like, what song would be this early? I know How Far Is Heaven is later than that. That's the one I always think of, even though like they were a band for like 15 years before them.
Like Menudo would be around this time.
No, Menudo was 80s.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought it went on.
Ricky Martin was like
99.
12 years old at the time.
Oh, okay.
When he was in Menudo anyways. I mean, Menudo went on for 15-something years. They just kick you out once you hit teenage
puberty
age.
Yeah, Menudo never really had a hit in America, did they?
During the 80s, they did.
Okay.
There was a little bit of
crossover,
a craze, and then they left as quickly as they arrived.
They picked up where they tried to pick up on the Selena craze, the short Selena craze.
I think maybe Selena tried to pick up on
I was like,
Menudo
Selena,
craze.
I think, came after Menudo. Menudo was that early.
Yeah,
I remember seeing Menudo
I'm just, in my head,
the show Silver Spoons with Ricky,
Ah.
what the hell's his name? Ricky Schroeder. And that was like 1983, 84
Oh, wow.
maybe.
See, in my head, Ricky Martin literally left Menudo and went solo.
But
That's how it is in my head. Obviously, if it's earlier in the 80s, it's
because that's
not
why that
that.
song's like 98, 99, I think. The one Ricky Martin song. I guess he had like 2.
Yeah, he had a good couple of years there.
But yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like, Menudo didn't cross over quite like
He lived La
Selena
Vida
did.
Loca, and then,
Right.
he banged.
Oh, yeah, that
and
song. That was the other one.
I thought that was that
Yeah.
Asian dude.
She bangs, she bangs.
William Hung. Wow, we got way off topic here.
Yeah.
I
I imagine that this is their best song, and it doesn't mean a whole lot to me.
Has
can't
it-
say I've heard any other song.
I was going to say, has anyone actually heard the original version of this? Because the only version I've ever heard is the Bayside Boys remix. That's the one that hit. That's the one that hit America.
I mean, that's the only one I've heard. I've never heard a different version of.
I mean, I may have and didn't realize it was the original. Just thought it was another interpretation of it because it's popped up in different shows over the years. And the first time, aside from the radio, I remember hearing it on the movie Go. And that was like 99-ish though. So
I imagine that if this is the remix or whatever, they probably added a more club style beat.
Oh yeah, definitely.
emphasize the trumpets a little.
And
more.
I don't know what the song would be without a club style beat. So,
I mean, if it didn't have the dance, would we actually remember it?
Nope.
here's an idea. If the last match ends in a draw, we play the original version of the Macarena. So, guys, find out what plays us out tonight and stick around.
Well, let's talk some G1.
Absolutely.
So, the participants of the tournament were Hiroshi Tenzan, Junji Hirata, Kazuo Yamasaki, Keiji Mutoh, Kensuke Sasaki, Masahiro Chono, Riki Choshu, Satoshi Kojima, Shinya Hashimoto, and Shiro Koshinika. And they were split into 2 blocks, and they had a round robin of, I think it was like 5 people in each block.
Yeah, it's split.
So they had 4 matches, and basically what we were able to find was 4 matches out on the internet. The only one that I know of that is on New Japan World is the final. So we found about 3 others just out there on the internet, just kind of hanging out.
Yeah,
just random ones.
Probably on YouTube.
They might be out on YouTube. Yeah. I don't really ever look on YouTube for this stuff because half the time it's not the full
match.
Or people like to put video game versions of matches. And
I fucking hate that.
And that's annoying as crap.
Like Fire Pro should have its own streaming site just for the people that do that.
Like, oh, okay, cool, this match is on there. Click video game.
Yeah.
Go to this link.
Put video game in the title, guys. It's okay.
Mm-hmm. Put review of something instead of just whatever the title of the something is.
But, they're starving for those clicks out there. It's a saturated market. But, there's a couple names that I feel like are still around today, and a few names that I don't know at all on here. Junji Hirata, not familiar.
Not real sure on that one either.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we won't see him wrestle tonight, but, maybe in the future.
Anybody with the name Kazuo or Kazuo, I kind of want to see just to see.
I mean, we will see him.
All right, then.
And just to get this out of the way, the last time we saw any of these gentlemen was back at Wrestling World 96, episode 181. So I don't have to say that every single time we have a match.
Yeah, you don't have to name drop every guy here.
Yeah, exactly.
We just did that.
So we're going to go straight to our first match. Riki Choshu versus Shinya Hashimoto in a Block A match. And this was on August 2nd. It was the first night of the tournament. So no one had any points. Everybody thinking they got a good chance at the championship,
Yeah, nobody's working from underneath quite yet.
Correct. And the two men go straight into a collar and elbow.
And it's hot already. I mean, these guys are big guys with big fans.
But no one gains an advantage as they work their way into corners and ropes several times to force a break. Shinya then hits a pair of kicks, but Choshu fires off a right hand to the jaw of Hashimoto. Pop! Only for Shinya to go right back to the kicks to stun Riki.
Okay, so help me out here, because when the match first started, I had to look at the notes just to make sure I was watching the right one, just because I don't want to watch the wrong show by mistake. I see the name Riki Choshu, and in my head, I'm picturing a guy with, longer, blondish hair, almost like a Ricky Morton-looking dude.
Nope.
Does that description fit anybody with the name Riki in Japan? Because I kept sitting there going, where have I seen this guy? Why am I picturing this person? It's not who Riki Choshu is, obviously, but I swore his name was Riki.
Choshu is kind of our, Tanahashi at this point in time.
This guy was more of a junior weight, though, so...
Yeah.
I remember him wearing purple.
He might have been one of the FMW.
There was a Riki. There was a Riki in the Super J Cup second stage that fought Negro Casas, but I cannot picture who he is or what his last name was.
Well, if that's the same one, then that's what I was thinking of when I saw the name Riki Choshu.
And
that's why I had to look at the notes, because I just.
Riki Choshu is a barrel-chested,
balding
Japanese man
this
of
guy
older
is,
age.
This guy is he was like Inoki's second in command kind of guy.
He's the guy. Yeah, he's the guy
split into New Japan. So he's been around for a long time.
Let's see.
He's the elder statesman in the company basically at this point, because Inoki doesn't wrestle very much.
Yeah, because basically Choshu becomes president of New Japan within the next 5 years.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly.
And is Shinya the champ at this point?
Shinya is the champ at this
point.
point.
Just making
as well.
sure.
Yeah.
Because I saw the belt. Just wanted to make sure everybody knows out there, this is the champ, and the champ got a little bit bigger cheers than the elder statesman.
Riki Fuji. It was first stage. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Blonde hair. Riki Fuji.
All right.
He was in first stage, not second stage.
You nailed it with the
but I knew he faced
Morton hair.
I knew he faced Negro Casas in the Super J Cup. But
all right. Now my mind can rest, because that was bugging the shit out of me, because I knew it wasn't Riki Choshu, but I didn't know who the hell it was.
What's really funny is this guy I couldn't have named to save my life.
Yeah.
It's but it is what it is.
So the two end up fighting over a suplex, with Choshu finally getting Hashimoto up and over, following up with stomps and a scorpion deathlock, causing Shinya to have to crawl to the ropes. Riki starts delivering knees, headbutts, chops, and right hands all in a corner, But Hashimoto fires up with massive chops, kicks, and chokes of his own.
His kicks are fucking insane, too.
I know. I mean, Hashimoto is my guy. I meant to wear my Hashimoto shirt. I have one. But they start those. I mean, these guys chop the shit out of each other, and then they start teasing with some closed fist punches. It's like, geez, man, they're going for it.
They continue to trade strikes when Shinya nails an enziguri, multiple knees, and a DDT for a 2 count. Hashimoto keeps up the punishment with stiff kicks that Choshu just asks for, followed by chops across the back of the neck. Shinya goes for a suplex, only for Riki to block, so Hashimoto transitions it into a DDT, and then locking on a cross armbreaker, only for Choshu to get a boot on the rope to break the hold. Shinya with more stiff kicks that knock Riki out to the floor, but once he returns to the ring, Hashimoto nails a second rope elbow drop for a near fall. Choshu is kicked out of the ring once more, but when he makes his way back to the apron, Shinya charges in with a spinning heel kick that knocks him back down. Hashimoto then follows out to keep up the attack with chops, running Riki into a guardrail before charging in with another spinning heel kick, only for Choshu to block, causing Shinya to fall hard onto the concrete. Riki then makes it back into the ring as Hashimoto struggles up to the apron, where Choshu charges in with a drop kick to Shinya's knee, causing him to fall back out to the floor. And Hashimoto is just pissed off as he enters the ring. Riki delivers several running lariats that don't take down Shinya, and he tries for a third, only for Hashimoto to hit a clothesline of his own. But Choshu's up first and hits multiple stomps to that knee before setting Shinya on a top turnbuckle for a superplex. Riki then nails 5 more running lariats that finally knock Hashimoto down for the pin and the win.
Yeah, those lariats look like they were going to severely dislocate his shoulder or something, because it was like hitting a dead body that was standing up.
Hashimoto is legitimately like built like a pyramid. It's like getting him down. It's like believable for him to stay up, even for more believable than some other even bigger guys. Just his build is a brick shit house.
Yep.
But I mean, fucking, this is good, hard hitting stuff, and the champion looked strong in a loss to an elder statesman that was still believable.
We then go to our second match. Kazuo Yamasaki versus Keiji Mutoh in a Block B match. And first of all, it's the first time we've talked about Mutoh since he was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Congratulations, you glory hog.
That's right, you gorgeous bastard.
Yeah.
Now it just makes me wonder, though, are we going to have the going away tour of Keiji Mutoh?
Well, it's already happened for about the last year and a half.
No,
but
I mean, wasn't that one just for Mutoh?
No, each match was like the going away for... They
did it both.
They did both at the same time.
All right.
Yeah, it was like...
He did like 12 dates, and like half of them were Mutoh, half of them... Like the Sting and Darby match was with Mutoh.
Yes,
and then
Sting and Mutoh,
the Naito match was with Mutoh.
And I will say that the Naito match is worth a watch, even though this man has no knees. Naito works his ass off to make this as good as it possibly can be, and there's a fun little treat at the end.
Yep. Because Naito isn't his final opponent.
No.
Oh?
We get after credits scenes, so stick around.
Yeah.
Oh, we've gone Marvel, huh?
So this match was also on August 2nd, the first night of the tournament. And the two men have a feeling out process to start before moving into some mat wrestling that sees both block the other from putting on different holds when Keiji would just stomp on Yamasaki's hand. And Mutoh tries to work the arm, only for Kazuo to counter to work the leg. But Keiji reverses it into an Indian deathlock with an added wrist lock, followed by a Mutoh lock. Now back to their feet, Keiji tries for a dragon screw, only for Yamasaki to rake the eyes and attack with kicks before applying a cross armbreaker, forcing Mutoh to make the ropes. And Keiji goes for the leg, allowing Kazuo to nail an enziguri and go for the cross armbreaker again. But Mutoh counters by just stomping on the hands of Yamasaki. Keiji hits the handspring back elbow, only for Kazuo to catch him and attempt to lock in a Kimura hold. But Mutoh quickly gets to the ropes to break it. Keiji goes for the leg again, which Yamasaki again counters, this time into a cross arm breaker of his own, with Mutoh reaching the ropes with his boot.
I love that when Mutoh, it's a heel maneuver to stomp somebody's hand, but there's a mix of cheers and jeers for Mutoh as he does this heel maneuver. And I don't know if he's a heel at the moment, but he's obviously doing anything he can to win. But he's definitely working that in this match. And a lot of the times, like finger manipulation stuff, I'm not into. When you just are straight stomping somebody's hand, it's like, oh, well, that's believable. Because that would fucking hurt.
Keiji starts to fire up with a forearm, a back suplex, heads up top for a missile dropkick. Mutoh then goes for a dragon suplex, which Kazuo counters into a Kimura lock, only for Keiji to then counter it into a dragon screw leg whip. Mutoh hits another dragon screw and a moonsault before applying a figure four. But Yamasaki tries for the ropes and finally gets there. Keiji grabs the leg again, but Kazuo flips over, taking Mutoh to the mat into a cross arm breaker, pulling him away from the ropes. And Keiji tries to escape, but he can't. And he ends up tapping out, giving Yamasaki the submission and the win. Little bit of a shocker there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's the first night, so this is the best night for Mutoh to take a loss. And, good for him, because he wouldn't do that very often later in his career. But they made me love a match that involved handwork, which is my least favorite limb to work on. And then the great touches that we should see more often now is that when Mutoh goes for the high angle drop kick, he does it incredibly well and incredibly quick, not just waiting for the guy to stand around. It's capital W wrestling. Don't let me think that maybe you're working together. I already know you are, but don't let it cross my mind. Keep it moving.
So we go to our third match. Kensuke Sasaki versus Shinya Hashimoto in a Block A match. And this was on the last night of the tournament, and both men had already been eliminated from contention. So they were just fighting for pride, basically, at this point.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a big deal for Sasaki because Hashimoto has the belt. So it's still, it means something. It should mean something anytime you beat somebody in wrestling. Yeah. But this one has much higher stakes because this guy's the current champion.
And Shinya takes the mic and he yells something at Sasaki. So Kensuke just charges in with a dropkick to Hashimoto's knee.
I mean, he's the underdog here.
Fuck you say?
Sasaki then locks on a scorpion deathlock, forcing Shinya to crawl his way to the ropes to break the hold.
No time wasted.
Kensuke tells him to get to his feet before proceeding to kick at the knee and deliver chops into a corner, where the ref tries to get them to break, only for Sasaki to just toss the ref aside and go back on the attack.
He's out for blood.
Yeah, Power Warrior's looking pretty intense here.
I know, I love his black and gold Power Warrior gear.
Yeah, he always had just more of a babyface look and feel to him when I had watched him before, but this one, he looks like there's some changes that are going on that I'm digging. So.
Yeah, he feels truly worthy of
Power Warrior name.
The Power Warrior name.
Hashimoto retaliates with chops, but another shot to the knee takes Shinya down, allowing Kensuke to keep up the punishment with a powerbomb and multiple running lariats for a 2 count. Sasaki turns Hashimoto over for the Scorpion Deathlock again, but he releases it when he realizes that Shinya isn't going to give up. Kensuke then charges in for a running lariat, only for Hashimoto to catch him with a massive chop and a DDT, before locking on a cross armbreaker, with Sasaki being forced to get a boot to the ropes. Kensuke goes back to work on Shinya's leg, before delivering a power slam for a near fall. He then applies a modified reverse figure 4, commonly known as a prison lock, while chopping away at the chest of Hashimoto.
I mean, that's fun.
Someone in a suit is at ringside, encouraging Shinya, when Sasaki would release the hold, only to then nail several running lariats, only for Hashimoto to not go down and just spit at Kensuke.
It's gnarly. I mean, I did that earlier. Let's add a big yell. I love, this is our second big boy match of this show, not the night, obviously, because these are on different nights, but these are the kind of big boy matches I like to see.
Agreed.
Kensuke then tries for one more lariat that sends Shinya into the ropes, bouncing back with Sasaki hitting an impanze on Hashimoto for the pin and the win. Post-match, the man in the suit comes into with cold spray. So maybe he's the doctor?
Or a manager, or maybe a mouthpiece. I don't know enough, because most of the time when we watch these, they're in Japanese and we don't speak Japanese. There's not subtitles, and I don't know enough outside of the matches as far as story-wise go, because Japan's stories are not as in the forefront of the promotion the way a lot of American wrestling is. But I will say that impanze is what it was. I was like, I don't know what that is. So it's kind of like an arm drag that falls short, so he pulls him down.
It's a judo throw.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Pretty much on his head or forehead or something.
Directly on his head. It is terrible looking.
Yeah.
And I
think Ronda Rousey has done it.
Oh, yeah.
In now current day
and
WWE.
I think when Ronda Rousey did it, I thought, wow, that was sloppy.
Yeah, we didn't quite know what it was, because we aren't really MMA guys.
I thought it was just her grabbing, take Alexa Bliss, for example, somebody that's smaller than her, and just flopping them around the ring just to show that, hey, I'm big.
But yeah, man, if you're going to beat the champion, dropping him directly on his head is a believable way to do it.
Yep.
We then go to our fourth match. Masahiro Chono versus Riki Choshu in the G1 Climax Final.
We got the, Masahiro Chono is kind of the younger Riki Choshu at this point, right?
Yeah.
The big take no shit guy.
He's looking a little leaner and meaner than the last time I saw him, too.
I mean, you gotta love that goatee.
So, Masahiro had actually defeated Keiji Mutoh earlier in the evening to win the B block and advance to this match.
Damn, they did the final the same night.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
So Chono goes right after Riki, tossing him into a corner, stomping away on him, before trying to place him in a Scorpion Deathlock. But they are too close to the ropes.
These guys aren't, as far as the pushing a guy up against the ropes, they do not want to break. Tiger Hattori is doing the Lord's work trying to keep these guys separated, because they're not playing nice.
And now it's time for a test of strength. But Choshu kicks out, only for Masahiro to rake the eyes and attempt an atomic drop, which Riki blocks and nails multiple Saito suplexes for a 2 count. Chono regroups out on the floor momentarily, but once he returns, Choshu starts up with kicks, snapmares, and right hands into a corner, causing the ref to check on the well-being of Masahiro.
And I love that for the pinfall, it's like he didn't kick out. He put his leg under the ropes because he just took 3 Saito suplexes. So it still puts over the move as, the strength of 3 Saito suplexes, as opposed to him just kicking out after getting smashed to the mat 3 times.
Yep.
Riki keeps up the attack, only for Chono to chop block Choshu to take control and work his leg with stomps and holds, before going to the SDF, forcing Riki to crawl his way to the ropes. Masahiro stays on the leg with more holds when Riki would start slapping at him, so Chono rakes the eyes to stop him. And Masahiro starts nailing several Yakuza kicks before heading up top, only for Choshu to meet him there for a superplex. But Chono no-sells it and goes right into a toe hold and the STF in the middle of the ring. And Kensuke is on the outside, encouraging Riki, who finally is able to make it to the ropes, causing a break, with Choshu rolling to the floor to regroup, where Tatsumi Fujinami grabs Riki and slaps him to wake him up.
I was wondering who that was. I knew he looked familiar.
You got to get in there, buddy. The other guy, I thought it was Tenzon for a second. Or I think there's a shot of Tenzon down there. I mean, all the guys that are on the same side or, probably multi-tagged together are down there. And Tenzon with that giant head and that mullet is hard to miss.
But we haven't seen Fujinami since Battle 7, episode 140.
Ooh, was that...
That was the previous year's,
yeah,
probably like 95's
the
January 4th
Ric
show.
Flair match, maybe?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So back in the ring, Masahiro hits multiple pile drivers for a 2 count, and then goes back to the toe hold and STF, with Choshu finding the ropes. Chono delivers several more Yakuza kicks that only get 1 counts. He hits a 4th Yakuza kick that sends Riki into the ropes, which he bounces off into a running lariat on Masahiro.
Fighting spirit.
Choshu nails another before applying the Scorpion Deathlock, but Chono doesn't give up. Riki then delivers another running lariat, followed by another Scorpion Deathlock for the submission and the win. So Riki Choshu is your G1 Climax 1996 winner.
You know what's great about this is my first thought is like, well, he's dad status now, but this is like feels like kind of, I don't know if he ever becomes champion again, no clue, but this feels like a few years ago when Tanahashi was like, they gave him some big wins and like, I don't remember if he won the G1, but they put the belt on him, the big boy belt on him
He
again.
did win the G1.
Yeah.
He went on to
And like this is the
face
same
Omega.
Yeah, the same vibe where it's like, oh, like this might be the last time this guy wins the G1. It's still believable. It's not too late, and he still was the underdog because of age. Essentially, he had to be slapped into go mode.
So I ask you, gentlemen, what are your overall thoughts of the G1 Climax Final 1996?
We love wrestling, especially when it looks like this. When it looks like this for me personally, but I imagine that you guys didn't have a bad time watching this.
No.
Because, there's nothing funny about this. Like, this, everybody means it. It was so easy to get into, and the matches, like, flew by. None of them outstayed their welcome, and they were pretty varied. Considering we only watched 4 of them, but there's a lot of believable mat work, which is nice, where people were really selling and it like actually feels like it means something when they take their time to get to the ropes. And the big boy matches, man, it's hard to pick a favorite match, but we'll get to that shortly.
Yeah, much like you said, a easy watch. To quote my Irish friend Seamus, banger after banger after banger after banger. Yeah, I'd highly recommend watching these 4 matches. I mean, if you can watch more than these 4, watch more than these 4, but at least check out these 4 because...
Yeah, you won't have a bad time if you like wrestling.
Yeah.
No quick finishes, no none of that nonsense, just
no easy wins.
So, knowing that these matches took place at the same time as the J Crown tournament helped me put it into perspective.
Yeah.
Each match had the juniors going on before them, doing all the spectacular stuff that juniors do. So
this was capital W wrestling.
So they had to do something different. They couldn't do just all the big moves just over and over and over again.
Because you can't do everything in every match.
Right.
It doesn't work.
So these guys kind of went to the technical side of wrestling.
Technical / ass kicking.
And that's where a difference of opinion can be had, because some people will like that, some people won't, because I can totally see someone watching these matches and perhaps being bored.
Yeah.
Because there is just a lot of holds and, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I totally understand.
I get mad thinking about people that would feel that way. But hey, everybody has different tastes.
I don't think any of these matches would be on a short list.
No.
But I still had a lot of fun watching these matches.
They're interesting. I mean, that's the thing with G1 is like, especially probably when it was only five guy, 10 people total, guy blocks or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like those guys are going out there and getting big singles matches with big guys. So the younger guys that are in there for the first time are going to perform, and of course the elder statesmen are going to perform because these are huge singles matches that actually mean something and can turn somebody into a star. So they're not heavyweight title matches, but they're also better than some heavyweight title matches you've seen. I promise.
Yeah.
It is. If you like wrestling and you're not just waiting for flips and furniture, like I'd be hard pressed to see somebody get bored by it. But I mean, favorite match though.
I mean, if it's not the first one, it's the last one probably.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's either one of the Choshu matches.
I think the first one with Choshu and
it was Choshu and Shinya.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was the first match.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a sucker for the Yakuza kicks.
I love Yakuza kicks. It's hard for me because like they're all great, but I feel like the Choshu and Hashimoto, and then I really like Hashimoto and Sasaki, but I think that I'm a little biased because I really like Shinya Hashimoto, but I think I might go
you
with
do like Shinya Hashimoto.
The Hashimoto Choshu match because it was the first one and like it set the tone. It set the tone. They really brought it.
Yeah,
but
it's.
I don't think there's a wrong choice.
No, not at all. I feel like either one of these could be somebody's favorite.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like if someone's misstring what I'm saying, all these matches are great.
Yeah,
they're just probably not on my short list.
Yeah, they're all of equal quality to the point where like Shane's favorite match could have been Mutoh and Kazuo, and I would have been like, valid choice. There's like a different flavor enough in each one that they're 4 different matches. Yeah. There's a couple of them that look a little more similar, but like Choshu and Hashimoto and Power Warrior. Why am I blanking?
Kensuke, Sasaki.
Yeah, and Sasaki like are both big boy matches, but still a different vibe and energy in a good way.
Yeah, I find it fitting that this show was going on at the same time as the J Crown tournament because I went into the J Crown tournament sure that I knew who was winning, and then when I saw the final of this one, I was sure I knew who the winner was, and I was wrong on both.
Yeah, I did not think that Riki Choshu was going to win. That was an upset.
Absolutely.
I was like, yeah, and that's why I immediately thought about Tanahashi a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Good. Where's the smart marks at? All right, fuck you.
I think it's time we smark it up. So, best moments?
Spitting, slapping, yelling.
Yeah, the Fujinami appearance,
Yeah, it really...
I literally spent, a good hour making sure that I knew exactly that was Tatsumi Fujinami. Because I was just that moment was just yeah. You got this. Go get it. I was just like, I have to make sure I know who this person is.
Yeah, it legitimately was just like an espresso shot, for the last act of the match, where you're just like, all right, let's fucking go, and they did, they absolutely did.
The 5 lariats to take down Hashimoto in the first match.
The Yakuza kicks,
triple Saito, leg under the rope, and that triple Saito, it wasn't slow. It was truly 3, and it didn't feel like they were taking their time to set it up.
Wasn't quite a 3 amigos.
No.
It probably hurt worse.
Yeah, probably hurt a lot worse.
Was that Hashimoto that got dropped on his head?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
that one hurt to
not
watch.
necessarily a best moment, but that was still just a badass, holy shit moment.
Yeah, that's one of those moments in wrestling where you're like, I know that all of this stuff hurts, but that one, like, you're like, when you're like, fuck,
Yeah.
I hope he's okay.
Especially when you sell it so well that you're solid to the ground, you're solid to the ground, you're solid to the ground. I'm not getting off my feet. I'm not getting off my feet. And then, whoop, here we go.
Yeah, and when you finally get lifted, you fall right on your head. And Hashimoto is just, like I said, extremely barrel-chested. He is top-heavy. Those shoulders probably weigh as much as my fucking thigh.
How about most disappointing? Was there anything?
I don't know if I have a disappointing on this one, just because, I mean, aside from wishing I could understand what they were saying just so I knew the play-by-play, I mean, there wasn't really...
I'll do the cop-out answer.
What's that?
I wish that we had more matches. Yeah, we should have watched. I say it every time we watch
We
a
always say
Japanese
that one.
match. Yeah, but so it's always like, oh well, it would have been nice to have a couple more matches because if they were, as good as these four, they're totally worth being in Wrestling History X canon.
I'm going to throw it out there just because there are people that are going to watch this and listen to this. And, I mean, I mentioned it. When you do a whole bunch of mat wrestling, it can become a little tedious.
Yeah.
And, like, literally there was one segment, I mean, literally the final sequence of Choshu and Chono was Lariat, Scorpion Deathlock, make it to the ropes. Lariat, Scorpion Deathlock, make it to the ropes. Like, it's like, yeah, we got it. Like,
But, yeah.
I know it's a finishing sequence.
Yes.
I mean, I'm just using that as an example.
Yeah,
I mean, there's multiple examples of that in each match where, like, they do a move, they make it to the ropes, and then, like, they'll kick them and everything, and then basically put on another hold that's basically the same hold.
Yeah, for sure. I will say that, like, even if you're can get bored by mat wrestling, I think that these guys sell it better, and the, like, psychology and storytelling is better than a lot of the times this happens. So maybe it'll change your mind.
Like I said, I'm just throwing it out there as a, like,
it's worth bringing up.
Man of the people type thought.
I should try to be more
I don't quite agree with that thought, but I can see how someone could.
Yeah, I'm not going to call you stupid because of it. I'll just disagree with you.
Exactly.
Best performer. Shit about you later.
I'm like, believe this guy.
Best performer of the night.
I mean, Choshu really pulled it out, especially for his age, and he's hurting. He doesn't stand up as straight as he used to.
That's a tough one, honestly.
I mean, Shinya brought the anger when he needed to. He sold really well when he needed to, and he fired up when he needed to. The quickest legs on the largest man.
And Sasaki made me look at him differently.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
He felt like it's like I mean,
it definitely feels like he has leveled up since the last time we saw him.
Oh yeah,
and he has won a G1. I think the last time we saw him, he was basically winning a G1.
Yeah.
But we were all like, really? This guy's winning a G1?
And now you see him here, and you're like, okay,
like
that guy.
I'm totally okay. I'm like, all right, cool, let's do this guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
How about most surprising? I actually don't think we actually answered best performer. I think we just kind of left it in
I guess
because
so.
we literally could have
I mean,
just answered anybody.
There's two guys that did two matches, so I feel like unless somebody really wowed you, which all the guys did, but I would have to choose between Choshu and Hashimoto, and you know where my vote's gonna go because I'm biased. So the thick karate man.
Oh, so Kazuo Yamasaki.
Yeah, exactly, thick karate man.
He worked that hurt hand.
They made me like a hand match. So I mean, if anybody's gonna do that, it might be Mutoh being a brat because he's pretty good at being a brat because he is one in real life.
I sense a one hand tied behind your back match next.
How about most surprising? And I'm gonna go with Yamasaki winning against Mutoh.
Yeah, Yamasaki.
I know anything can happen in the G1.
Yeah,
but like
that's more surprising than Choshu winning, even though Choshu winning was a surprise.
Yeah, I would say that was not necessarily Choshu winning, but Chono losing because I went into it thinking
this is where Chono
this is
gets
the takeoff
made or
point.
whatever.
Yeah, You know, he had a slightly different look. You know, he was wearing Roman Reigns pants. And
He'll get his win back, I assume,
he's
pretty
very-
soon, and it'll mean something.
NWO Japan starts real soon, so
see, that's what I was thinking too. That it was about the right time for that. So I thought that
It's a good way to get it
We'd
going.
only seen him in the finals, so this is where it happens. But
Definitely had that in my mind as well. But you know that like this guy's gonna have a banger match against Choshu, probably within the calendar year, I'd imagine.
yeah.
And it's probably good. I hope we see it.
Making their way to the ring.
It's trivia time.
uh-oh.
This week, the category is What Happened When?
What happened when?
So 5 points for a correct answer, 3 points if we go to multiple choice. I am going to give you a show. You are going to give me the main event of that show. So the show is SummerSlam 1994.
Damn it! I knew as soon as you said SummerSlam, it's like Shane has this immediately.
Shane?
SummerSlam 1994 was Taker versus Taker, or Taker versus Faker, however you want to word it.
Okay, that's right. Correct answer.
What a weird match to headline SummerSlam.
Yep.
Right?
It's like, what was that? Was that a? I wonder what the title match on that show was.
Trying to remember.
I know.
Because that was the one you had Leslie Nielsen that was on
Oh yeah.
the hunt for the Undertaker or whatever throughout the entire show. I
Is
can't
that
remember.
Yokozuna versus Lute? No, that was 93.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's why I had to think for a second. It was like, wait, no, they had the Rumble already.
Or we call it the
the
death of Lex Luger. It looks like it was a. Oh, that's 96. That's not going to help me. Come on.
Hart and Owen in the cage match.
Oh, that's good stuff.
I understand why they went with Taker.
I mean, it was the return of Taker,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah, how often do you get to see the same character fight themselves?
only when you play Mortal Kombat. That's why I'm not a big fan of it.
I mean, you've had Axe and Smash go up against each other, and you've had, I don't know, Killer B and Killer B.
Ian and Axel Rock forever. Not forever as in I like them, but they just wrestled forever. But I mean,
it's not the last time we'll see the same.
yeah, nope. Yeah, I mean, Brett and Owen obviously a better match, but Taker versus Taker, you know, it is at least iconic, memorable, and talked about to this day because it was stupid.
Yeah. Next week, Hog Wild 1996.
Rev up your motorcycle, put on your leather jacket, maybe take the Confederate flag off first, and let's go to Sturgis.
That's right, South Dakota.
That's right. Who's
Mount
on
Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore
Black
bikers.
Hills.
You guys ever been to Mount Rushmore? Maybe
No.
maybe we can save it for the next one.
Sorry.
But you know, it's fine.
Spoilers. No.
No, yeah, I've never seen it. I've seen North by Northwest. A joke I'll make next episode.
Music from this week's show is The Score by Emerson, Lake and Powell, and Riki Choshu won, so we play his music Power Hall by ZZZ.
Oh,
Huh.
I thought you were about to say ZZ Top. It's like I don't know
That's
that
what I was
ZZ Top
thinking at
song.
first. I'm like, wait, what?
I was going to make the joke that hopefully it doesn't put us to sleep.
Oh.
If you like this episode or any of our other ones, please go out there, rate and review us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify,
Spotify.
or wherever you find your podcasts at. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns,
Recipes. You should, where are we going next? We're going to South Dakota.
Sturgis.
I guess we'll be going there in multiple times in the future.
Yes,
So
we will go to South Dakota
requests
multiple times.
will actually make sense. It might be one.
Yeah,
We're
I
not
mean,
to go there again.
I'm from
but
Nebraska, but I've never been to South Dakota. I've never been across the border to South Dakota, so...
I feel like the Dakotas aren't a place the same way Delaware is.
I don't know.
No shade. No shade.
I've
I
always
live in
wanted to go.
Oklahoma. Don't get mad.
I've always wanted to go to Delaware, but I didn't want to drive the 4 hours to go across the border to South Dakota, so...
I literally want to ask why, but then I'm like, do I care?
Yeah, I was like, why does he want to go to Delaware?
It's one of those things. It's like, I want to go to Delaware, I want to go to Maine. There's no real reason.
I mean, Maine, I get.
Maine sounds great.
Maine, I get.
They have like a whole culture.
I think it stems
They consider
from
themselves different.
Wayne's World back in the day of where they were standing in front of the green screen and da-da-da-da, and all of a sudden it's Delaware. Hi, I'm in Delaware. And I just wanted to be in Delaware just so I could say that, I
We could
guess.
set up a green screen.
There's only two things I know out of Delaware: President Joe Biden and George Thorogood. And
There
I think
you
his
go.
band was even called like the Delaware Dogs.
University of Delaware is the Blue Hens.
Oh, there we go. Those are all our Delaware facts, guys.
That's all I got.
It also, I think, has like crazy tax cuts for
Dover.
for companies. So a lot of companies
Capital,
just have
right?
like buildings they own there.
If you have any other Delaware fun facts for us, let us know at our email, wrestlinghistoryx@gmail.com, or find us on Twitter at WrestlingHistoX. That's Wrestling HISTO.
Write them down on a piece of paper, follow it up, throw it away. No one cares about Delaware.
We'll talk to you next week.
Hey, Macarena. Laters.